What's up, buddy?
Mike,
You?
hey, we're outside checking this building out.
Okay.
Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'll be out in a minute.
All right, cool.
Bye.
Mike is on his way out.
So what do you think?
I think it's pretty damn good.
I think it's awesome, buddy.
No, it looks really good. I showed up and I was just saying, like, you can't even really hardly tell. Obviously, you can tell it's a little bit more dirty, but
Yeah.
you hardly could tell we even added to it.
No, the discoloration is just age from the year before. It's
Yep.
going to age and it'll almost blend together.
Mhm.
You know, if you know where to look, of course you can see where they added.
Yeah.
But other than that, no.
So what do you think? You got enough room now?
Don't know yet. Give me a little while to figure that one out.
Yeah. What's going on, guys? It's DJ here with Keens Buildings, and right now, early this morning, we are meeting up with the crew here at a customer's house that you've previously seen a video on. You can look back in the links here. That is a 30 by 50 for Mike Richards, and today we're extending to his building. We're going to show you the steps to do this. This is one thing here at Keens Buildings that we offer, and this is an expandable building, 30 by 50, adding 45 feet to it. Property that he's owned since the 90s, and now dream building. Couldn't necessarily go the whole length he wanted to in the beginning, so we did a 30 by 50 there, and then this was fully enclosed, all right? And then probably a year later now, concrete company that poured that existing pad was referred by us, and then they obviously came back out. They did this 45-foot extension. Mike came into the office, said, hey, I got my pad down, I'm ready for that building, and we just wrote up a simple 30 by 45 building. Now, when we priced that, it was priced identically like that, minus an end wall. So we're actually using the end wall that you're gonna see off that building there, and we're just gonna put it on that side with new paneling. So this is exactly how it's done here at Keens Buildings. That's a 30 by 50. We're adding a 30 by 45. We got some garage doors on the trailer. We're gonna put some more on the building. And today, we're here in the morning. We're gonna let these guys get going. We're gonna show you around a little bit. We're gonna talk to Mike, and then we're gonna come back once this thing's all finished up, and give you the process of what it takes to extend your 30 by 40, your 30 by 50, your 30 by 60, or any building or steel building you purchase here at Keens Buildings.
We were going to do 2 bays and it was more cost effective to do 3. It wasn't very much to get the full 3 bays versus the 2. So we went ahead and just did the 3. It was well within the budget.
Yeah.
And I thank you guys very much for working with me in that aspect. You guys really did a great job helping me afford this.
Yeah. And honestly, so what we were talking about is he came back and he's like, hey, I want to add 40 feet to the building, right? And then said, okay, no problem. We priced it up. The building had 2 doors on it whenever we were rendering it up. And then he was like, well, what's it going to take to get a 3rd door? And we didn't have enough wall there for 3 12 by 12s. So I had to let Mike know we got to add 5 feet to the building. Obviously, the price to do that wasn't too bad to do.
No, it was not.
You got a little bit of cost in the building when you add 5 feet, and you got to think about your foundation too. You're adding square foot of concrete, but still within his budget. So now we have 3 doors. I don't think you'll regret doing that.
Nope.
So we had 2 doors on that building, and now he's almost doubled his size. So once again, 30 by 50. We're adding 45 feet to it now. Total length of the building is going to be 30 by 95.
Yes, it is.
So,
And it'll be well used.
yeah. So right now, just kind of watching these guys go right now, they're taking this end wall off that we talked about earlier that Mike didn't necessarily have to pay for because it was already on his building. There was a fee to remove that end wall. Obviously that's labor for those guys. But right now, they're taking that end wall off, taking the materials off of it, and they're gonna start working on putting it up over here on the end to get this thing enclosed. And then once they're done there, that'll be wide open in one big shop.
I appreciate the fact, like I said, when I started this, I came to you and said, I got this much money. Can I build this building? You did the numbers, you made some adjustments, you helped me understand things. You got my building built. When it comes, I don't like to waste. I think I told you that when I did the expansion. Yes, I could have just paid for a whole other building, cut that wall out and throw it in the trash. I don't like waste.
Yep.
So you worked with me. Yeah, it was cheaper to move that wall than it was to just chunk it and have a new wall put in.
Yep.
So you're very conscious to your customers about their budget. And I appreciate that very much.
And we really do. That's what we just try to, as a building expert, you know, it's one thing to sell a bunch of buildings, but at the end of the day, you know, we come out here, we build the relationships with you guys, we get to show them off. We appreciate you letting us come out to the property, what they're doing, and for you, this is probably pretty fun to watch.
It's fun and it's a learning experience. I'm an older guy. I watch what they do. I said, now that makes sense.
Yep.
I didn't understand how they're going to put it up, how they're going to get it level. Watching what they do, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I like to learn. Not that I'll ever build one, mind you, but it's just cool to have that knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, the first building took about a day and a half. They're hoping to finish up by today.
Yeah.
Or very, very early tomorrow morning. They are efficient at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They come in, they get it started, they ain't messing around. Hobbyist, machine shop, fabrication. The far end of it, that end of it's for machines that I've got them stored right now. Ultimately, most of this is just to get my stuff out of the weathers. I got my old pickup truck. I keep it high mileage, but it's cheaper than buying a new one. Get my tractor out of the weather. My chipper, of course, I don't like my stuff out in the weather. It causes, it's gonna cause erosion problems, so it keeps all that stuff clean and reasonably functional. Storage. You know, you got kids, you're gonna wanna put their crap here.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I put a little room in there for them. In most cases, like I said, I'll dedicate one bay to a two-post lift because I do a lot of my own maintenance. So that way you pull the cars in, get up underneath them, do what we gotta do there. A lot of little things that are gonna make it play out well for me.
That's the cool thing too, is like, this is perfect that we have customers like Mike that'll actually go into depth with what he's going to use the building for.
Well, I didn't
like
go into that. I have to save. I have to go without for a year to be able to do the next phase of it.
Yeah, and it's just, what I mean by it is it's just reality. It's just natural. It's really cool to see all this stuff, like all his stuff in the shop, what he's going to be using it for, obviously future stuff, and then working within the budget that time allowed you to do, right?
Yeah.
So then that building got you by to what you're doing. You probably have loved it. And now we're just adding to it. And I think even earlier today, we were talking about even a third step to the building, which we'll obviously keep you guys updated with, because as this journey goes, we already have that one YouTube video up on that one. We'll do the expanded side, and then eventually maybe we'll come back.
Yep. With luck, you'd be out here putting on an extension out here.
Yep.
That's the next phase of it. I got a lot of internal stuff to do to it that I just want. So I'll definitely be using you maybe to help me engineer some internal trusses for a mezzanine deck over the machine shop end of it, because that's height is one thing, but when you go vertical, you have to understand if you're not going to use that space, it's waste of space. I've designed the building that if I needed to, I can put a mezzanine there and use it for storage or whatever as well.
Yes.
Not that it's going to be a barn dominium or anything like that, but hey.
Yeah, we do those too, but for this case, this building is on a 14-foot leg, and those are 12 by 12 doors. So when he's talking mezzanine, you know, he'll probably adjust that to certain download, height, and then
about 7 foot at the bottom edge of the ceiling.
Yep.
By the time you do a pitch and everything, I'll have about a 6.5 foot mezzanine up there. So more than enough for an average person to get up there and walk around without beating their head against something.
So it is cool to let alone see what we've done a year later, removing an end wall, putting it on, but just in general, what a 30 by 95 feels like. Yeah. You know, we got 5 12 by 12 roll-up doors on the side of it now too. So
the two I had were always, they're very useful, but they were always full.
Yep.
And there's a lot of stuff to go in here, a lot of things I got to do. But I don't know if I'll ever have it as full to the capacity of having to work around things like I did.
Yep.
Before the building was great, I did have to time things and work around stuff. I don't think I have that problem.
Yeah, there you go. And it was probably pretty annoying backing stuff up, moving stuff that either doesn't run, doesn't work.
Sure.
And then you only have those 2 garage doors, so you're pretty limited.
That's it. It ain't no more. You know, the slow moving stuff, it'll go to this end. But probably the first 3 bays here, they're going to be very active for me.
Yeah.
And I
Now,
did.
Mike, really quick, because we didn't get to talk about it, and now I thought we were done, but we're going to go into it. You pulled the permits for the building,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So kind of talk about that process, how it went, and what you thought of it overall as an owner builder.
Okay. Starting out, I was overwhelmed.
Mhm.
I will have to, Pasco County got me through it.
Mhm.
There's a young man in Dade City on the second floor permitting. No matter what you screw up on a computer, he can fix for you.
Yeah.
That whole department can. I tried to do it online, as they all encourage you to do. It keeps the manpower hours down. When I couldn't do it, during normal business hours, you go up there, you take your paperwork, you tell them, you look at them, be honest, what did I screw up?
Yeah.
And I wish I could remember the young man's name. It's been about 4 months.
I know who you're talking about, though.
But he said, he'd pull up my account. He said, and the one thing that caught all of us off guard, it all got approved to a point, but then something kept getting flagged. And he couldn't find it in the computer. He finally called the review team that's in Newport Richey. And there is an elevation requirement required on the site plan, the one that you draw out with a pencil. If you don't know how to find that in that computer, you'll never get your permit approved.
Yep.
Do not panic. Go see the
There you
people
go.
in the office.
Yep. And we do really encourage that as our business and everything. This is trying to make a building like this as most efficient as it possibly could be, right?
Yes.
The price of the structure and then going into permitting. We have a permit tech that we generally refer to all of our customers just for you don't have to deal with those little problems and
Yes.
stuff, the annoyance of the counties, but we don't actually pull permits in-house. So when we refer you to them, they handle it for you, but 9 times out of 10, the owner builder is the most efficient way to do it. So once you place your deposit, you get a set of engineered drawings.
Yes.
Those engineered drawings are what you bring to the county along with that site plan you were talking about. And nowadays, everything's really digital. So the counties have this digital portal that you have to create an account for,
Yep.
sign into, and start uploading these documents. And of course, our team generally gives you the rundown, right? We kind of give you the base of it. And then, like he's mentioning, you really never know what's going to go on. It could go through a process. It's really smooth. It could get hung up on something silly because of the property. And going into the office and stuff, we do always highly recommend doing that because you get to see face to face. Not always is that super helpful. I was kind of laughing there whenever you were saying the young man because I didn't know how that was going to go.
Yeah.
But obviously that was a positive for you. They walk you through it. That is their job. You don't, you really never really know. And even themselves and going in there, you just want to show face. And it is cool because you did do owner builder. It is the reality of pulling a permit. It gets stressful. You want to give up, and then you just have to kind of keep going and get through it, and it's downhill from there.
That's it. If you just go into that office and be polite,
Mhm.
those people will bend over backwards. There
Mhm.
are certain things that have to be done by rule.
And that's their job, right?
Exactly.
They
If
can
you go
only
in there screaming and hollering with
Mhm.
an attitude, they're going to probably just, okay, hit button A and follow the instructions and walk away from you.
Yeah.
Don't
Yep.
help them. Work with them. They're human beings.
Yep.
And believe me, those people have enough stress in their lives without the public making their lives ugly.
Yeah. And we need a lot more people like Mike in our world, all right, that can go in there, be patient with people,
That's
and
it.
talk to them with some politeness and really get what you wanted. And at the end of the day, like you said, we're all human. That's what we're out here to do. That's why we're selling steel buildings and making an impression on it. And then for you, we can, again, thank you so much for giving us all that information and the reality behind it. All right, guys, we're gonna walk ourselves around the back side of this thing. Dang, Mike, I gotta ask him. I don't know if he came and got that from us or if that was leftover. So I usually have some of that tubing at the office, but that's pretty cool because we did not put that on there. But guys, that is a look at a little man-made lean-to off the back side of a building. Pretty damn good, Mike. Nothing on the back. Just a big 14-foot sidewall that is 95 feet long now. Here's where it used to be. See where that concrete tied in? I really can't even tell. Back here, I barely could tell what panel's new and what panel's a year old. Just the quality of the panel, the quality of the colors that are all on all of our stuff. Now, this is a non-color match screw. This is that standard screw. It's a galvanized silver screw. We'll talk about this a little bit. We're on the corner of the building. Got a lot of exposed concrete, so a lot of people wonder what a footer is. A footer is the depth there. That is a 12 by 12 footer with a 4-inch pad, of course. I think Mike, he might have went with a 6-inch pad. With some heavier equipment and everything, you see that a lot, thicker pads. We got rebar in that footer, and now we have a 3.5-inch recess right here. So if you come into here, there's an 1.5-inch lip right about right there that stops any water from getting under this and getting into your building. So we require that lip around the perimeter of the building. On this particular one, there is a bottom piece of trim there. There's a couple different verbiages for that, whether it's a rat guard, but that protects that vertical panel from being exposed and having little rats run up it and get into your building. So I think that's why they call that a rat guard. That is it. That is 45 feet added to a 30-foot or a 50-foot long building. Now we're at 30 by 95. We said it 100 times now, but 14-foot sidewall. We got the green roof, 6-inch box Steve around it. We have no windows in this building, just 5 12 by 12 chain drive Janus International doors and a solid walk-in door at the end.
Especially with the heat like it is. Get started at daybreak, you're done by 9:30 or 10.
And it is like, again, we keep talking about it, like the actual reality of owning a steel building. We get to enjoy selling a ton of these things, so much that maybe we even we lose the reality of what these buildings do for people. You know, like yourself and maybe your grandkids, and I see the grandkids' toys in there and stuff.
Oh,
so,
yes.
you know, coming out and being able to, you know, stay young, stay working on stuff,
That's
and
what
then
keeps me alive. Stay moving. This puts it in a privateer's cost.
Yep.
It keeps it where you can have things.
Yep,
I can't say enough about it, buddy. This is a super impressive building,
that's awesome.
and you're an awesome company. TBS is an awesome company.
Man, Mike, I'm speechless.
I am. I'm just happy.
So guys, we really do hope you enjoyed the video and watching and listening along and truly listening to the reality of an owner of a tubular steel building and what it takes and how it went and the process that comes with it. His full experience here at Keens Buildings. And again, thank you for watching, like and subscribe. We're gonna keep doing these videos involving customers and then ourselves going out there and just kind of showing them off as well. So that's what it's all about. If you're interested in a steel building, we have 7 locations all over the state of Florida. We supply state of Florida all throughout the East Coast of the United States, really, on these tubular steel buildings. And yeah, man, it is awesome to do it. We're on the up and up and in business for 26 years. Keens Buildings has been there, and it's just kind of that next level, kind of start showing these things off, because we know that social media world does that, and we want to
Yes, it
give it to
does.
everybody.